democracy. But to get there, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to make hard decisions. Political decisions are not going to do it. I got beat up pretty bad in a debate last week in Marietta because I answered a question differently from these gentlemen up here. I'm not changing my answer today, and if y'all want to beat me up, you can do that too. The question was, would you consider a tax on oil companies to reduce the national debt? I said, yes, I would consider it. They all said no. Let me tell you what, we're headed to a place like Greece. If it's between borrowing money from China and going further in debt, or putting a tax on corporations, I will vote for anything to keep them going further in debt to China. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. My name is Steve Sutherland. I'm from Panama City, Florida, so just a county or two over. This year, me and my family in Panama City, we made the decision to run for Congress. It's been an incredible experience. And my family has been in North Florida for since before Florida was a state. It's the only place we've ever called home. We've been in Bay County for 5 generations. And it was in Bay County as a 6-year-old that I met my wife, Susan. And we have been married now 23 years, and we have 4 beautiful daughters. So I live with 5 women. So I enjoyed the jokes that y'all were sharing earlier about the women. That certainly applies to me. We, and my family is, we grew up at First Baptist Church in Panama City. It's where most of my family still attend. And that is where I learned much about the foundation that I have and the values that I have, the conservative principles that I have in my life today. It affects the way I run our business. It affects the way that our family operates. As far as our family businesses are concerned, we're in the 22% of businesses that reach the 3rd generation. In 1955, my grandfather started Sutherland Funeral Home. After coming back from World War II, with a 6th grade education and $3,000 in a dream, he started our business. And we have perpetuated that business now into the 3rd generation. I have a degree in business management, and which helps me in my business. Over the last 23 years, I've been very active in our community. I served for 3 governors, governor appointments, overseeing quite a few boards throughout the state. I've chaired our Chamber of Commerce, the Military Affairs Committee of Bay County, as well as served on Covenant Hospice Board, and quite a few more. Thank you for having us tonight, and I look forward to visiting with you over the next few minutes. God bless you.
Okay. Unfortunately, because of the physical limitations, we're going to make a little bit of a technical change here, so I'm going to try something out. You guys get to use mine. Okay. Thanks, everybody. And thank you all for being so accommodating for. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the questions. The first question, of course, and this is to all the candidates. We're going to start with Eddie first, so if somebody could hand the mic down to him. Sorry, I should have done it before I got off stage. And that question is, what are your top 2 priorities if you are elected?
Top 2 priorities, and they're equally important. The first thing I want to do when elected is go up to Washington and form a coalition with new members of Congress, but also some of the members that are physically conservative up there, like Jeff Flake and Eric Cantor and Paul Ryan. The first thing that we need to do is we need to balance the budget, we need to freeze spending, and then we can start working on longer-term goals like entitlements. But we also need to make sure that we take care of our residents down on the coast with this oil spill and make sure that their families are taken care of and that the people that are responsible pay for it. Second priority is national security. That includes securing the border, getting the fence fixed, and letting people come into this country who are and want to be, or who want to be Americans and learn how to speak English. I believe that our military is falling apart. I want to invest in the military, and that includes not only our active duty, but also our retirees and our veterans and their families. We need to take care of them, because that's part of the federal government's responsibility. Those are the two top priorities that I have within the first 3 to 4 months being over. Thank you.
Lord have mercy, was that 2 pages? I thought we got 2 things, that's about 15 things. My job is to rebuild the economic system of this country. I want to do that through free enterprise. I want to make it where people can bring their money in offshore, other countries, if they've got money there. They have other businesses there, that they can bring their money into America tax-free for 2 years. It's a rent deal plan for economic recovery. We want to have it where we can build, they build factories, or home offices, or distribution centers, or whatever business they are that there is. They can build that here in America, have it tax-free for 2 years to employ our people. We'll get our people employed. We're not coming out of this nosedive. I've been in business 40 years. And I built all my home business myself. I didn't inherit anything, but maybe a pair of jeans with a nickel in them or something. But we've been in business all these years, and that's what it's going to take to rebuild this and get where we've got employment here. The second thing is we have to completely revamp the federal government in the size and scope of the federal government. It has to be cut right back down to where it fits in this 50-page document right here, okay? The Constitution of Bill of Rights. And so that would be my 2 priorities: rebuild this country economically and rebuild it from the size and scope of the federal government where they're out going beyond their bounds. Thank you very much.
My top 2 priorities, if elected, is to jumpstart America economically and get people to reinvest in America. The 3 things that I talked about in my opening that any nation must have to be the leader is a strong economy, a strong national security, and an energy-independent plan. The country that can be independent from energy of any other country is going to be the country that is the most powerful country. And I believe that really needs to be America for the sake of its goodness. But to do that, to jumpstart the economy, I have suggested a 24-month suspension of capital gains tax to give everyone a chance to buy and sell quickly within that 24-month period and look to eliminating capital gains, to reinvest in America. One of the things that I suggest is a payroll holiday, giving employers a payroll holiday for Social Security employer payment. And this came in actually through a joint bill between Senators Hatch and Schumer, and they introduced it in for nonprofit jobs, and it created jobs. We must create jobs. Our first priority before we do anything else is to get America strong again. That is the linchpin to success for this powerful country.
Upon arriving in Washington, D.C., my focus will be, first and foremost, we've got to stop the spending. We've got to make sure that Washington, D.C. is reflective of the American family, and right now it is not. Your family budget is shrinking, our small business budgets are shrinking, and yet the budgets of the federal government is growing like never before. So the very first thing that we will do is to stop the spending. The second thing we will do is we've got to create jobs. When you look at the state of Florida and you look at 12% unemployment, that is totally unacceptable. We're a country of people that work, and we have got to work. And so as you look around this country, you look at states like Michigan, 15 to 16 to 17% unemployment, because we have created an environment that pushes our businesses to other parts of the world. Now, I will do this and focus on these things because of practical experience of my life. My family has been in business. I have served on the Economic Development Alliance Board of Bay County, which we go and we recruit and create jobs. By the way, the health care bill that Congressman Boyd voted on eliminated 700 Sallie Mae jobs that we, through the Economic Development Alliance, recruited and brought to Bay County.